We lived in Medford, Oregon. Not a big city, but it's where I worked my first full-time nursing job after passing the NCLEX. That job paid for a lot of things. Our rent, our groceries, his car registration, and most recently, his mother's hysterectomy. She didn't have insurance. He cried on our bedroom floor when the hospital quoted the cost. Said it would kill her if she had to wait. So I covered it. $11,784.63 out of my savings. Because I loved him. Or maybe I just thought I did. The night everything snapped was a Friday. He and his buddies were hanging out in the living room, passing around whiskey and playing one of those truth or drink games they saw online. I was in the kitchen making snacks. I wasn't supposed to hear what they were saying, but I did, because he didn't bother closing the door. One of his friends asked, "Be honest, why are you still with her?" They met me, and he laughed. Not a nervous laugh, not the kind that says awkward question. It was that smug, chesty laugh he used when he was about to say something he thought was really clever. Honestly, he slurred. She's just convenient, like a wallet with a mouth. The room exploded with laughter. I mean, look at her, he kept going. She's not ugly or anything, but she's like average. Maybe a 6 if she wears eyeliner. Makes decent money. Never says no when I ask for help. And bro, I'm telling you, self-worth in the basement. She thinks she's lucky to have me. One of his friends choked on his drink. No way she doesn't dump you after this. He laughed even harder. Bet you $50 she still makes me breakfast tomorrow. Sunny side up. Like always. They all laughed again. One of them added, "Damn, she probably thinks she's wife material." He clinked his glass with the guy next to him and said, "Nah, she's just practice." I stood in that hallway for a full minute, holding a plate of nachos I made for the people mocking me. My arms didn't even shake. My chest didn't tighten. There was just nothing, like someone had pulled a plug and drained me out. I walked back into the kitchen, set the nachos down, and went straight to the laundry room where he kept a file folder full of old receipts and hospital paperwork. I found the invoice with my name on it from his mom's surgery. Took a picture of it. Then I grabbed his phone off the couch when they were too drunk to notice, stepped outside, and recorded a voice memo from the hallway where they couldn't see me. But I could hear everything. They said more, way more, about my body, about how easy I must have been, about how I probably cried into the pillow after sex, about how the only reason I landed someone like him was because I had a rescue complex. I uploaded the memo to my Google Drive, printed a transcript, sent a copy to his mom, too. Then I cooked. The next morning, I got up at 6:30 a.m. like I always did. He was still passed out on the couch. His buddies were scattered around the floor in blankets and beer cans. I brewed fresh coffee, fried 3 eggs, sunny side up, toasted sourdough, his favorite. I put everything on a plate, poured his orange juice, set the table. Then I took the printout, folded it clean, and placed it right next to his phone on the placemat. I didn't stay to watch. I had already packed everything I owned into my car. I drove to a coworker's house across town, left my phone on airplane mode, and just sat in her guest room. I didn't feel like crying. I didn't feel like screaming. I just sat there, waiting for the wave to hit. Instead, my phone buzzed with a new text. "You really gonna throw us away over a joke?" And that's when I did laugh. Out loud. Because the only joke here was him. I waited exactly 6 hours before unblocking his number. Not to talk, just to watch the messages roll in. "Are you serious right now? You're overreacting. It was a game. We were drunk. It didn't mean anything. I can't believe you're going to do this after everything I've done for you." Everything he's done for me? Let's rewind that. The man was unemployed for 9 months. Said he was between opportunities. What he meant was he was playing Elden Ring on the couch for 12 hours a day while I worked double shifts. I covered our rent, paid our internet, cooked, cleaned. When his dog got sick, I maxed out a credit card to pay the vet. But suddenly I'm the villain because I didn't find it hilarious when he told his friends I was basically a bangible ATM with zero self-esteem. Cool. He showed up at the hospital where I worked 2 days later. Hair unwashed, hoodie on, eyes all puffy like he was the one who got hurt. "I made a mistake," he said. Loud. In the main lobby. In front of the security guard. "You can't just leave after one joke. You said you love me." I told him to leave before I called someone. "I lost everything," he shouted, stepping toward me. My friends think I'm trash now. My mom won't talk to me. And I'm about to get evicted. You took it too far. Took it too far? I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just leaned in and said, no, babe. You took it too far. I just hit record. The truth is, I wasn't done yet. Not by a long shot. Because a part of me still wanted him to feel it. Not just the embarrassment. The loss. So I called his mom. Not to yell. Not to argue. I just asked if she got the transcript I sent her. She had. She said she'd been trying to reach him, but he ignored every call. I told her she deserved better than a son who hides behind liquor and treats women like stepping stones. She started crying. Not for her. For me. That's when I knew I wasn't crazy. I wasn't being dramatic. I was just finally done pretending. I went a step further. I found a friend who'd laughed the loudest that night. The one who said I probably cried after sex. His name was Clay. Real estate agent. Married. 2 kids. I'd met his wife. Sent her a copy of the recording. No context. Just a message. This is how your husband talks about women. You know what she sent back? Thank you. You're not the first girl to warn me. Guess who moved out 2 days later? And my ex? He texted me one more time. You ruined my life. I replied with 2 words. You helped. But trust me, this wasn't the end. Not yet. Because one of his buddies reached out to me a week later. Said he felt bad about what happened. Said he wanted to explain something about that night. What he told me turned this whole thing upside down. His name was Dev. One of the quieter guys from that night. Skinny, soft-spoken, wore glasses. I remembered him because he barely laughed. Maybe once. His DM started with, I know you don't owe me anything, but I need to tell you something. He asked if we could talk in person. Said it was serious. I was hesitant, but curiosity got the better of me. We met at a coffee shop near Rogue Valley Mall. I didn't wear makeup, didn't dress up. I wanted zero chance of him mistaking this for a connection. He showed up looking nervous, fidgety, sat down across from me, and said, You were right to leave him, but there's more you need to know. Then he took out his phone and slid it across the table. He had video, not just the audio I recorded, but a full-blown video from that night. Hidden camera style from the corner of the living room. The audio was clearer. You could see my ex laughing, see his friends pointing at the hallway, talking about how she's probably listening, but she won't do sh*t. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was what came next. After the part 1 recorded, one of the guys, this beefy dude with a Seahawks jersey, leaned in and asked, You ever think about just dumping her once your mom's better? My ex laughed and said, Nah, I'll keep her around. Girl like that, she'll probably still let me hit it even after I cheat. Watch. Someone else said, You haven't already? He smirked. Didn't answer. Just raised his glass. They howled. Dev paused the video. I don't know if he did or didn't cheat, but he wanted to, and he thought it was funny. I stared at the screen, heart pounding. Why are you showing me this? I asked. He looked ashamed. Because I have a sister. And if some guy ever talked about her like that, I want someone to speak up. Then he dropped a final bomb. He's planning to leak your nudes. I went cold. Dev said he overheard my ex talking about it to Clay. Something about making her shut up before she gets me fired. I knew exactly what photos he meant. 2 years ago, when things were good, I sent him a few. Never with my face. But I trusted him. Now he was threatening to ruin me. That's when the switch flipped. Because if this man was going to try and destroy me to save his own ego, then I wasn't just going to play defense anymore. I was going to make sure he never recovered. I started with his job. Well, his old job. The one he got fired from for not showing up. What he didn't know was that the owner, Mitch, used to come into the hospital where I worked. He ran a cleaning business and did all the floors at our ER. I told Mitch everything. Showed him the video, the transcript, the texts. He was silent for a full minute. Then he said, He asked me for a reference last week. Wanted to reapply. I nodded. Thought you should know. He shook my hand. He'll never work for me again. One domino down. Then I went to his mom. I showed her the new video. Told her about the photos. Told her what he said about keeping me around for sex and money. She cried again. Not for me this time. For herself. I raised him better than this, she whispered. But the damage was done. She told me he hadn't been back to visit since I left. Said he blamed her for taking my side. She looked me in the eyes and said, You didn't deserve any of this. He deserves to be alone. I still wasn't done. Because I had one more card to play. I logged into the shared bank account we'd opened 6 months ago. It was in both our names, but I was the only one who ever deposited money. Guess who forgot to change the password after I left? Guess who got a notification that he was trying to transfer $1,500 to his personal account? I locked it, froze the funds, reported unauthorized activity, then sent him a screenshot with the caption, "Oops." That night, he called me over 20 times. Left 11 voicemails. Begging, screaming, swearing, crying. I didn't respond, but I did post the transcript and the video to Reddit. In a women's support thread. Changed the names. Blurred faces. The post exploded. Thousands of comments. And then, someone recognized his voice. A girl he used to date. Said he did the same thing to her. Called her a leech. Threatened to leak photos. Ghosted her when she needed help paying for school. She tagged 2 more girls. Suddenly, there was a pattern. And a name. His name. And it was trending in all the wrong places. The message came through a throwaway Reddit account. No profile pic, no bio. Just a short DM. Check your email. Subject line, June 17th, Spokane. I hesitated. I wasn't sure if it was bait or was someone playing games. But I checked anyway. I had set up a separate email for anything tied to that Reddit post, just in case things got big. There it was. Subject line exactly as promised. No message in the body. Just one attachment. A screenshot of a hotel receipt. La Quinta Inn, Spokane, Washington. Date, June 17th. Guest, his full name. Room for 2. The same week I was working back-to-back night shifts, covering for a nurse on maternity leave. The same week, he said he was going to stay with his cousin in Eugene to help him move. He wasn't in Eugene, and he sure as hell wasn't alone. At first, I thought maybe it was old. Maybe someone found it and was trying to stir up more drama. But then I saw the credit card number on the receipt. The last 4 digits? Mine. The card I gave him when he said his debit account was locked. The one he promised to only use for gas and emergencies. Guess getting a double queen room with blackout curtains and 2 guests was an emergency. But here's the thing. I still wasn't mad. Not in the way people expect. Because something happens when betrayal keeps stacking and stacking. It stops feeling like pain and starts feeling like purpose. I emailed back, "Who are you?" They replied almost instantly. Not who. What? I'm the girl who cleaned that room. I found something in the trash. Wanted to make sure you saw it too. Then they attached a photo. It was blurry, but clear enough. A torn-up, lipstick-stained napkin with a handwritten note. One part of it said, "Next time, bring that wallet girl with you. She'll probably pay for the minibar too." My stomach flipped. I couldn't tell if it was real. But the handwriting? It looked like his. I'd seen it on grocery lists, birthday cards, and the post-it notes he used to leave on the fridge when we were happy. I didn't even reply. I didn't need to, because that was the final piece. That was what made it public. I went back to Reddit, back to that now viral thread, and I dropped the Spokane receipts, along with the credit card charges, the napkin, and a clip from one of the voicemails where he shouted, "You made me look like a F***ing predator." He did that all by himself. Within 48 hours, his name was being shared across TikTok, Twitter, and even Facebook groups for women in Oregon. People were commenting with stories, screen recordings, voice notes, photos, screenshots of texts where he flirted with girls, then called them needy when they asked for dinner. Someone even posted a clip from a podcast he'd been on a year ago, talking about how men should date women who are grateful to be chosen. Charming. A week later, I got a DM from his mom. All it said was he moved out. "I'm sorry I ever let you help him." Then another message from a local job recruiter. "We rejected his application after seeing what surfaced. Thank you for speaking out." Then another from a girl in Spokane. "I was the other one. I'm so sorry." I told her she didn't owe me an apology. She'd been played too. We talked for over an hour. She told me he said I was just a roommate who couldn't take a hint, that I guilt-tripped him into staying, that I used money to control him. I almost laughed. Almost. But here's the best part. Remember Dev? He sent me one more message. "You inspired me." I finally stood up to them. He left the group chat, blocked them all, started therapy, said his sister cried when he told her the truth, said she wanted to meet me someday. Maybe I'll let her. But for now, I'm focusing on me, on healing, on moving, out of Medford, out of the shadow of that man. Out of the shame, he tried to dump on me like it was mine to carry. Because it wasn't. It never was. And him? Last I heard, he's living in someone's garage. Can't hold a job. His name is Digital Poison. Every day, he tries to line up ends in Google searches and silence. Funny. That's what he used to tell me. Don't be so emotional. You're not that important. Guess what, babe? Now you're not.